Elena and Mark left New York to start fresh in a small Maine town. The real estate agent warned them, no one stays long in that house. But they laughed. Ghost stories are for children. The mansion stood tall, wrapped in fog, its windows like watching eyes. When the door creaked open, the air smelled of roses. The first night, Elena heard soft whispers echo through the hall. A woman's voice sang a lullaby, old, broken, full of sorrow. Mark searched the rooms, but found nothing except cold air. When they returned to bed, the same song played from the attic. Someone upstairs was waiting. In the attic, Elena found a covered painting. When she wiped away the dust, she froze. It was her face, painted 100 years ago. The signature read, Margaret Hollow, 1923. Behind her, the eyes in the portrait blinked. The town librarian whispered the story. Margaret Hollow was murdered by her husband, who went mad. Her body was never found. Her soul never freed. Elena's heart raced. She looked exactly like Margaret. Fate had brought her back to finish the story. Elena began seeing another face in the mirror, pale, hollow, pleading. When she looked away, her reflection kept staring. Mark thought she was tired, but she knew it wasn't her imagination. At 3:13 a.m., the reflection whispered, "Help me," and blood appeared on the glass. Mark found a locked door behind a bookshelf. When they forced it open, a small nursery appeared, untouched by time. A cradle rocked slowly on its own. Inside, a baby's blanket embroidered with MH. A single tear fell from Elena's eye, but it wasn't hers. A yellowed letter fell from the cradle. It was written to my love, even after death. The handwriting was identical to Elena's. She read it aloud, and a cold wind blew the candles out. Something inside her awoke. Every night, the same lullaby echoed from the basement. Elena followed it once, barefoot, eyes glassy. Mark found her standing before a mirror underground, humming softly. The mirror fogged with words, "He will kill again." When she turned, she wasn't alone. Mark began feeling cold hands around his throat in his sleep. He woke up gasping, with fingernail marks on his skin. Elena watched, emotionless as he struggled. The ghost had chosen him. Margaret wanted revenge. Elena's voice began to change. Lower, sadder, older. She called Mark Edward, Margaret's husband's name. Her eyes turned cloudy whenever she said it. At night, she danced with invisible arms in the hallway. Margaret had fully awakened. Mark found a hidden camera roll inside an old chest. When developed, the photos showed Elena standing beside a ghostly woman. Each picture dated 1923, but Elena wasn't born until 1996. Time was folding in on itself. Old Mrs. Fay, next door, finally spoke. That house feeds on love, then devours it. She had seen every couple who moved and vanished within months. Elena begged her for help, but the old woman smiled sadly. "It's already too late, dear. You belong to her now." Mark woke to find "murderer" carved into the wall above their bed. Elena's nails were bloody, but she didn't remember. She cried, begging Mark to forgive her. He hugged her tightly, unaware Margaret was smiling through her eyes. Mark took her to the old town church for help. The priest refused, whispering, "That spirit can't be exorcised. She's love itself." As he sprinkled holy water, it turned black. Elena screamed, "He killed me here." The church bells rang by themselves. Elena smashed every mirror in the house. But each time she looked at her reflection, Margaret smiled back. When she cut her hand, blood dripped into the portrait frame. It shimmered, alive again. Mark whispered, "She's inside you now." Thunder shook the hollow house that night. Lightning revealed shadows walking on the walls. Elena stood at the window, whispering to someone outside. Mark followed her gaze. The ghost of Margaret stood in the rain, smiling, waiting. Mark discovered an old journal hidden in the chimney. It revealed that his great-grandfather was Edward Hollow, Margaret's killer. The curse had found its next generation. Elena wasn't haunted, she was possessed for justice. Margaret spoke through Elena, sobbing uncontrollably. "He buried me beneath the rose garden." Mark ran outside, digging through the rain-soaked earth. A skeleton in a torn wedding dress stared back at him. Her ring matched Elena's. The ground shook, roses withered, and whispers filled the air. Elena fainted, glowing faintly, as Margaret's soul rose in mist. She looked at Mark one last time, half ghost, half lover. "Set me free," she said, crying and vanishing into light. Mark set fire to the hollow house. He watched the portrait burn as laughter and screams mixed. Elena's face appeared in the flames, smiling peacefully. When the house collapsed, he whispered, "Goodbye, my love." Weeks later, a headline read, "Couple missing, hollow house destroyed." Only one thing survived: a charred music box still playing the lullaby. Reporters heard faint laughter inside it. A detective visited the ruins. He took the portrait as evidence and hung it in his office. That night, the woman in the painting opened her eyes again. In a city apartment months later, Elena's voice echoed through Mark's dreams. He woke up to find rose petals on his bed. From a mirror, a whisper came, "I never left you." A young couple bought the rebuilt house. They laughed at the legends and kissed in the garden. That night, a music box started playing by itself. From the window upstairs, Elena watched. The hollow house still stands, untouched by time. Every 20 years, new lovers move in and never leave. Somewhere deep inside, a voice whispers the same line. Love never dies, but sometimes it kills.